Hey, Chris.
Hi, Susie. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you. All right. You're looking good. Look at those bracelets. Those are beautiful.
I feel great. Today and yesterday in particular were extraordinarily intense meditation days, days of
Wonderful.
communion, and it's a level that I've never experienced before. So, I've
Oh
had
my
marked
God. You just keep, yeah.
escalations and intensifications in this energy, and just it's really taken off to the point where I can go into the no think zone now pretty fast and stay there and just plant myself for hours at a time. And it's
Amazing.
showing in the numbers. The reason I sent you
Yeah.
the the update on the NF Times is that I minted 8 already today.
Today.
As a result, as a yes, just so far this morning as a result of the deep meditation. So
Wow.
it's the meditation that I'm experiencing is so palpably obvious to me, but now the metrics are
Yeah.
clearly reflecting back that it's you know it's scientifically measurable as well.
Exactly. And that's what makes this so amazing, isn't it? To really track and validate what you're doing. And
Well,
you're able to,
in my testimonial, I pointed out that the awakening process can be very confusing for many.
yeah.
There's all sorts of inner feelings and emotions and physical sensations, and also dark nights of the soul moments and depressions and flatness
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you and I
away,
have both
of
been
course,
through it.
which of course the ego is dissolving away. But the good news is that the soul compass shows that what's happening is actually very positive and healthy.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
so you're not just relying on your own reaction to sensations and down moments or up moments. You have the scientific validation that, hey, there's nothing physically wrong with me. In fact, the metrics are showing that I'm achieving higher and higher and higher and higher levels of flow or power or,
Saying is that it's so positively reinforcing and you're
that's it.
trusting yourself. That's like key to coherency. You feel this inner trust.
The way the awakening process accelerates is if you believe it.
Yeah,
And the
right.
soul compass helps you not only believe it, but be convinced of it.
Yes.
And the more conviction you have, the faster it moves.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And getting this metric, this feedback, is like um gold, right? I mean, that's what
Absolutely.
really is working for me now as well. We're having a great start. Chris is rocking it. Uh
I'm on fire.
you're on fire. It's like, and the better it gets, the better it gets, right, Chris?
Well, the better it gets because you believe that it's getting better.
Yeah.
The roadblocks I was putting in my way were doubts and disbeliefs and thinking, oh, there's something wrong with me. The soul compass dispelled that right very, very quickly. As you recall, I was achieving the same levels of metrics drinking a martini as I was meditating. And it told me that anything I do, so long as I'm doing it in a state of love and relaxation, is cool. So
Yeah,
it stripped out a lot of the last moments of guilt out of my life.
right,
I am moving forward. And
right,
so the more you believe that you're moving forward, the more you move forward. It's just
right.
so obvious that the mind is in control of this.
It's so simple, and yet, you know, it can take a lifetime, right?
It really can. It's like turning a large ocean liner around.
Yeah,
It does
yeah,
take time, and you have to be patient with yourself, and you have to recognize that there are going to be down moments. As you release, the higher levels you go, the more release there is of a lot of shit that is buried,
yeah, yeah,
and it can be very uncomfortable as you release it. It's like a a spiritual diarrhea. It can be very uncomfortable. It's not an infinite supply of it.
yeah,
Eventually
yeah,
you reach the point where there's no further separation, and then you
right.
just blend into the universe.
Yeah.
It's not it's not a surrender, it's a relaxation into the universe.
Yeah. And what I'm hearing and feeling is acceptance. It's like accepting it
Absolutely.
all and not pushing
Everything.
against anything. It's all
There's no goods
beneficial.
or bads or rights or wrongs, or it's
Right.
all supposed to be, it's all part of this matrix of conscious energy or love that we call source.
And
It's all good.
amazing, Chris. Woo-hoo. Woo-hoo. All right.
Yeah,
Well,
definitely
while we're,
connection.
getting ready here and allow a few more people to come, um, I just, I got to tell all of you that I think I feel better today than I have in a whole year.
You look great.
Thank you. I feel really good. So I had a major, major breakthrough using the Soul Compass and Garmin. And as you guys know, I've been going to the gym, like trying to figure out, this whole thing. Like, why are some of my pilots just so good at this? And quite frankly, why am I not benefiting as much, right? Not feeling bad about myself, but feeling truly inspired by you, Chris, and Tim and Birgit and so many others who are doing extremely well. It's like, well, come on, if they can do it, why can't I do it, right? So I have just been singularly focused now for about 2 months to figure this out, and I finally had a huge, huge, huge breakthrough doing intermittent fasting. Like
I've done. Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. Like I sort of almost by accident, all of a sudden, all my metrics, Garmin, Soul Compass, like not just a little bit better, but in some cases 3, 4 times better. Everything from, how many NF toms I'm minting, how high I'm going, my body battery. Like for example, last night my body battery, according to Garmin, was higher than I usually wake up in the morning in the past. And I'm talking just like a week ago. And I'm losing, I think, on average, half a pound a day. And I'm not starving myself. I'm not hungry. It's like, I don't know. I just feel like I just discovered the secret to life all of a sudden. Um, and I got clarity and my mood is better, like really subtle stuff that's hard to measure. When you're in the sweeter spot or the sweeter direction of self-improvement, like, oh God, it just gets, I feel on fire in a new way, and super inspired by where we're going as well with Ring True, with our new project. And also to show how the Soul Compass is capturing it in a way that nothing else can. Putting it all together and realizing we've got something extremely valuable already, given what's happening to you guys, but even more so as we go forward. Results from the 31st, and like, look at that, guys. Look at heart power, right? I went to the gym, and I mean, I really, Garmin told me if I want to lower my fitness age and be, Chris's age, uh, at my own age, I need to increase my vigorous, exercise. So there you have it. Then recovery comes way down, and then sauna, heart rate goes way up, and you can really see the spikes here, right? And probably one of my, not the highest, but a very, very high NF Tom, over 200 here. So valuable to even figure this out. Do you know that no other wearable can show you that? Like, can give you this kind of validation, like, yes, sprinting with some active recovery with a sauna, or like, what is the metrics or methodology to get this to happen in real time, right? That's really big. And then the day before, on this day, this was pretty special. This was Thursday morning. I had a call with a gentleman in Malta, the they're proposing that we form our token company in Malta, which by the way is where Binance is formed. And during the call, one of my heart metrics, shot up and pulled up with it, heart rate variability, and it held up pretty high. See how it sort of stayed up? And to me, that's like, whoo, okay, that's a really good sign. Whatever I was focused on in that moment is true, something that resonates with my soul. So that was wonderful, wonderful feedback on that day. What I want to show you guys now, I'm working on a pitch deck right now. I'm really, really, really excited. And I think this has been part of my breakthrough because I'm wanting to now like really focus on our next most important step as a company. And, because we can only go so far with other people's wearables. And what I discovered is all the wearables out there, they will measure your stress and what they're calling readiness. And the reason is that heart rate variability, what I just showed you on my metrics in real time, it turns out none of the competitors, they never measure it continuously in a waking active mode. The reason why it requires heavy sampling. We have to sample your data more frequently, and that rapidly drains the battery. We're getting the most we can out of Garmin, and it's the only one. None of them will give us this amount of data. That's why we can't even support Apple Watch anymore. The data is just not high enough frequency. So Apple and others, they'll offer you like, okay, for the next 10 minutes on demand, time-based session, measure me. Well, then you got to plan it, like, okay, well, did I know that was, it's just doesn't really work. You want it to happen, all the time. And these other wearables, they literally measure your HRV. Apple and Whoop measure one time, one metric while you're sleeping. Aura measures it 5 times throughout the whole night and takes your average and calls that your HRV. So there's no real-time feedback in the moment while you're active. Like, that is what our differentiation is going to be about. And so we're calling it Ring True, and it's going to measure true peak performance. We're not calling it a flow state, because then we have to define and debate with everybody else what a flow state is. And instead, we define what to ring true means. We get to define it with you, with our customers. And it's going to measure continuously and in real time, all the time, in the background, while you're actively engaged in life, for these actionable insights in the moment. Like no other wearable, there's about 431 of them, can do this. They all are measuring while you're sleeping or sitting on the sidelines. So I come up with this fun little tagline. You can sleep with others, but live with Ring True. Because ours is only going to last for a day. You actually need to recharge Ring True at night. It's good for a day. We're not going to compete with the others. We want co-opetition. So we're not going to do sleep metrics. Aura and everybody else will give you your sleep results, but you got 10 fingers. So you might, during the day, wear a second ring, right? So that's our game plan. And I'm just super, super excited about this because we're already doing something that nobody else can do, which is this in the moment, real time feedback. So I get these actionable insights, right? Now, it's going to take some time to raise the money to do this. But because of everything we've done with all of you for the last year, we can leverage the results we already have, much of the software. It's really just to raise the funds to make the hardware work with the software. We already have samples of these rings. We're not going to do anything special to the hardware, so there's no tremendous cost. It's the values in the software. And we make a change in the firmware to make the sampling rate go higher and market it and launch it on crowdfunding, similar to another company called Ring One. Ring One launched a very successful program on Indiegogo just a few months ago. Here's our go-to market. Co-opetition instead of competition. That's number one. And what we're going to do is a crowdfunding in partnership with Launch Boom, which is like an accelerator on Indiegogo. We're going to pre-sell 10,000 rings at 197 each. That will raise close to 2 million. And that will surpass the success of Ring One, which sold 7,924 rings, raising 1.7 million at a price point of $231 a ring. So this is the plan, and it'll only take like 6 months to do this. So I'm super excited. And once we have these slides ready, I will be pitching this to some new investors. You got a question, Chris?
What does the ring look like?
Oh,
I never wear a ring, so I was just
right.
curious
Oh,
what it
it's
looks
good.
like or
They're
feel.
super simple. Here's a model, photo of it.
Oh, okay. So it's simple, like a band.
It's going to be the simplest smart ring out there. And our cost for this ring is only $30. So this is our hardware plan. The battery life is 1 day, and it doesn't measure anything else that all the other rings do, right? So keep your other ring. This is worth having a second one, especially if the barriers to entry are really low. I'm planning on having the hardware be lower than virtually any other ring. And I call it a freemium. You can start with a freemium service at no charge, but if you want the real-time results, then you have to upgrade for a little bit more. And
Is
then
it adjustable ring size, or do you have to measure?
no.
Yeah.
These are all fixed. What some of the other ring makers do is they send you a kit in advance to, get the right size. So there's various ways to do that, or we'll make
But it
it
has a metallic surface to it then.
on the
That
outside.
would,
It does on the
when I
outside.
look
Yeah, it's
brass
like
or
an Aura ring.
okay.
Yeah, but this could take a year, but you guys would be for sure the first ones, and at no cost. It would just be a gift for being part of our program so early. That's
Well,
because you're the front runners, and many of you have provided testimonials, and I really appreciate that. It's what we're going to do is take like a quote or make a quote out of them for the pitch deck, and then our new website, we're going to create a new website called Ring True. I've already got the domain name, and we will have literally a testimonial page, and with each of your permissions, I assume it's implied when you send me your testimonial, will all be on our testimonial page. And we will be using this in our pitch to convey that we have traction, we have, market validation, we have live customers who love it and want these new features. So yeah, because we can only, while this is okay, it's expensive. It's not our hardware. We can't make any changes. We can't make improvements. But if we had our own ring, we could really crank up the dial for the sampling rates. And
I assume
that,
it connects in to an app like the Soul Compass.
Yeah, we probably will update the Soul Compass app as well once we have more data to play with. But yeah, it'll have its own mobile app as well as an even more advanced website.
Okay.
But it takes funding. Um, but I'm pretty excited. It's a matter of time. That's how it feels. It feels like, okay, just this is the right plan. So it might seem like nothing's happening on your side, on the outside, but a lot is happening on the inside.
Does
So
Mohan feel that he can adapt the Soul Compass technology relatively easily to the Ring True?
absolutely. We already have the samples. Um, we have them in hand. We did a search. There's a variety of suppliers, and we picked one. And that part's not so hard. I think we were quoted $3,000 to customize the firmware to increase the sampling rate, and everything else is readily doable in-house to port it to even our existing mobile app. But as I said, we most likely would modify the mobile app interface. Yeah. So yeah, it's really technically not difficult. And the beauty of it is the hardware already exists. And to start off, I'm laser focused. I'm not gonna make any hardware modifications, right?
You think that the Ring True product is more sellable to a
Oh yeah.
larger mass audience than the Soul Compass?
Yeah, absolutely. Because currently, and I've had quite a few people who wanted to join, but it requires an investment of almost $300 for the Garmin watch, and a lot of people, and then like it sells on the call, they just really wanted the ring form factor because of athletics. Um, just easier for many athletes to wear a ring instead of a watch. So, and yeah, it's a lot cheaper. But the most important thing is, I mean, we could have done a band like Whoop. Whoop has a very affordable hardware because it's just a band, right? It's not a ring or a watch. Um, we could have done that, but I felt that the a ring is just more elegant and a higher perceived value than a band. And it's really, we're not going to, the thing is, we're targeting a much broader market than the current wearables. Like Whoop is almost all athletes, right? We're more like Aura in the broad market appeal. Yeah, and you know what's also cool is nobody will compete with us because they would have to give up all their other features, right? Like they have all these other features like your sleep results, your payments, your gesture controls, features, and those features take battery to run during the day, right? So they would have to ditch everything. So we're just going to be laser focused on what I think is the highest value. I can use my mobile phone for payments. I don't need my ring for that. Um, if I want sleep results, I'll get another ring. But this value of when are you ringing true? When are that feedback is like liquid gold in terms of value. Knowing like what I'm doing is really working. I'm feeling better, I'm performing better, I'm happier, I have more energy, my performance is better, right? That's it. That's what you want. And you can't get that by just looking at your average at night. And then no one is rewarding anyone for their metrics. That's the other differentiation, is
I have a
providing
quick
the reward
question.
mechanisms. So,
Susan, I have a quick question.
yeah.
Uh, just wondering, right now it seems like with the Garmin and looking at the advanced metrics that we run on like a 15-minute interval uh, of
Mm,
times that roughly go,
yes.
you get the spikes, but the
Yeah.
intervals roughly, I think 15 minutes just from looking at my NF toms and stuff. Um,
Yes,
is that something with the ring true that you're going to get down to like a minute or 3
absolutely,
minutes?
Tim. That's the whole point. That's the whole point.
Okay,
So I
that's
believe
what I
right,
thought. I just wanted to
yeah, I
clarify it
believe
because
right now we're measuring every 5 minutes, but they're in 15-minute intervals.
yeah, because you have to
And
have a trend.
we take the average of the 15-minute interval. With Ring True, it most likely will go down to every minute. And then, and here's what I want to show you. With Garmin, as Tim said, we're able, because of the sampling rates, right? We have a sampling rate on your heart. And from that, we determine in the time domain, your heart rate variability. And this is the important part. We calculate in the frequency domain your heart power spectrum, and we can determine your HF is high frequency, low frequency, and very low frequency. If we had a higher sampling rate, there would be a fourth metric called very high frequency, right? You guys understand, if you have more data, you can calculate higher frequencies, and that's would also be something that no one could do, is capturing the next highest frequency that is making up your beats, your heartbeats. The energy of your heartbeats is in this spectrum, this energy spectrum. So we would unveil a new metric that just no one knows about. And the only cost is that this ring would last for a day at most. And you would, as part of the game plan, with no apology, you'd be expected to charge it up every night. Use a different ring or a different wearable for your sleep results, and use Ring True during the day, right? To gamify the sweet spot, to gamify yourself and your life and your choices, and how do you literally ring your heart, ring these higher notes of coherence. So that's what I'm excited about, because then we'll have another metric and we can start diving into something that no one's really looking at, which is some of them are looking at the interplay between these different frequencies. In fact, if you do research deeply, you'll learn that like high frequency and low frequency are often correlated with the sympathetic and the parasympathetic nervous systems. But there's a lot of debate of whether that's just too simplistic and it's not black or white. But if we had yet another higher frequency to analyze, and through some artificial intelligence on it to look for patterns, we might discover some more significant truths. And as you can see, part of this game plan is to not debate the existing world. Don't not get into a debate about it, but rather define a new term, ringing true. What does it look like when you are ringing true? Right? Like, because then we define it with you. You help us define it with your feedback and with your experiments with that you guys have been doing now for a year, and you collectively could be significantly helpful in our discovery of these new truths.
So Susie, do you think that if I'm wearing the ring as well as the Garmin, I don't want to lose my Garmin. I love it.
Yeah, I know.
I don't want to lose my soul compass. But would the graphs look different, or would they look very similar?
It would look similar, and we'll probably think of a way, of course, to keep both, right? And really, like we all have it, so why we don't need to ditch it. Let's use it in combination at first to help in the co-discovery. My guess is we would either overlay new metrics or do a comparison in the beginning, or literally just add a new feature like this higher frequency that we can't get right now, right?
Okay.
So there might be yet another metric added on top here, either in a, you know, different color or dotted line, or just something to show that it's this is the ring and this is the Garmin, you know, so you could compare as well.
Does the ring have a glowing feature when you're in the ring true state?
You know, not initially, but that's of course in my daydream, is that I would love it to be really subtle and kind of glow when you're flowing. So
Yeah.
like for instance, yeah,
See, it's so much, if you have that type of immediate feedback where it's glowing, then the trick of the mind is to keep it glowing.
like look, see
And
this guys.
once you know how to glow, whether it's the martini or the cannabis or the meditation or just playing with a puppy, once you know how to glow,
I
then
know,
you just
I
keep
know, I
focusing
know.
on glowing activity and glowing thoughts. You
Yeah,
train your
well,
mind to stay in the glow.
yeah, I mean, I love this
Yeah, that's a beautiful one.
like this is Lord of the Rings, right? Wouldn't it be great
Yeah,
if something, if our brand, you know, or
yeah,
something beautiful were to light up, and
yeah,
it could be very
yeah.
subtle, just, and people might notice, or you can turn it
Yeah,
on, turn it off.
even if it's the Token of Me logo
Yeah, I
that's
know,
emblazoned
exactly.
on the ring, and then it glows when you're in the glow.
Exactly. Yeah. And naturally we'd want you to get a feedback. Like right now, we don't have a way to give you we don't give you feedback. Uh but I would love it. Like that'd be the next feature. The
Right.
next two features would be I get a text or a telegram message when I get an NF Tom minted, right? I'd
Yeah.
really, really like that. That would be incredibly valuable. Um, the next metric is I'd like to be able to add some data to the NF Toms, like just like a journal, like what was I doing when that happened? So we'd like that. Um, Chris, we only have you for 10 more minutes, so can we look at you next?
Yeah, sure.
Do you have a day that stands
Well,
out?
even just this morning, after my intense workout, I dedicated it largely to meditation. And, just in the morning, I minted 8 NF Toms. So I was really in a
Oh
really
my God.
place.
Like, look at you. So, guys, right, this is Chris working out, and then this is Chris meditating. He goes over the top, higher than, sleep metrics. Look at this, Chris. You got a 250 HRV.
What time was that?
That was, looks like during your workout.
Yeah,
Like,
it was definitely right in the middle of the workout.
that's insane, Chris. This is
I started the
magic.
workout at 12:30.
Right. Wow. Yeah, and you can see like your metrics all rise. You see this burst right here? You go up before the intensity kicks in. So I guess the
Well,
beginning of your
it's an
workout.
intense workout, but I converted it into what I call a moving meditation.
Yeah.
So I'm constantly in a state of prayer, and I found that energizes me, and it's
Mhm.
changed the nature of the metrics as well.
Wow. See, and then so this is also for Andrea, like what Chris does that really works and he gets these dramatic results is he gets his heart rate. See this big change? He has a very, very low resting heart rate of like 60. Like that's finally where I'm at now. But Chris is 70 years old, right? You would hardly know it.
I'll be 71 in a few weeks,
Yeah,
actually.
this is
Although Garmin keeps lowering my age. Now I'm down to 58 and a half.
Oh my God. Yeah, we're exactly the same fitness age. So I'm having the time of my life, like competing in the most loving and playful way with you because you
Well,
are
I've been doing
inspiring.
intermittent fasting for years. I strongly advise it. It helped me
I
dramatically.
cannot believe it, you guys. Um, I really, if anyone's never done this before, magic has happened by like eating breakfast and then a late lunch and then not eating for the rest of the day and
Yeah.
go at least 12 hours before eating again. everything. I'm minting more NF toms than ever before. All of my metrics on Garmin have doubled, if not tripled, in improvement. And I'm losing half a pound of fat every day. Half
There's a
a
lot of
pound a
medical and
day.
scientific validation to this.
I'm like, oh my God, this is insane, right?
Yeah.
So, Andrea, you don't have to go work out. You could just try intermittent fasting. And, this will cause a dramatic change in everything. Um, and so Chris is also doing something which is intense physical exercise and then a meditation, something to, come way down. And that's what's causing you to go so high. And look at how many. See, you're minting so many.
Yeah, there were
I
8
just
this morning so
I just
far.
love it. I love it. I mean, look at this. This is the 100, this is the line, and look how many times he crosses it. And it's almost like for free, huh, Chris? The rest of your day, you're just minting without even trying.
Well, I've reached the point now where the deep meditation that occurs in silence is now spilling over. We'll call it an afterglow effect, so that I'm
Yes.
meditating all the time.
Right. Yeah.
My mind is constantly focused on the divine.
Yeah.
And that's changed my life. Circumstances, synchronicities, coincidences, miracles, some of the minor, some of the more major, are occurring continuously because I feel like the veil of separation
Hmm.
is gradually dissipating or dissolving or disappearing.
Yeah, and your mood is better, right? You have clarity, your mood,
Oh yeah,
insights,
energy.
energy, everything. Something else, this is also what Andrea was saying about coherence. Coherence is interesting in the way that we're measuring it. You see how Chris's highest coherence bar is not with his highest HRV bar. You see that? It's actually kind of one of his lower ones. And the reason is we're looking for in our definition of coherence is not just heart rate variability, but heart power. We want to see
Yeah.
both rising. If they both rise, then you have what we call true coherence. So it's just a higher standard, okay? And in the future, guys, we will be measuring a lot, and there'll be rewards for different metrics, different, not just heart power, or right now it's only HRV crossing that 100 nanosecond threshold. But we're gonna be gamifying all sorts of different levels using your baselines, right? And also, this is also a reminder for Andrea and anyone else who might be struggling, is when we go live commercially, right now it's kind of one size fits all, right? Chris and Birgit and Floris and Tim, these are our front runners, and unfortunately we're being compared to them. But we want you to be compared to you in the future, so that way you don't get discouraged, and you're just being gamified against yourself, right? That's a very important feature that will come in time. So stay with it, Andrea. There will be a time when you will see and be rewarded for your own improvement with yourself, given wherever you are.
Are
That's
you, sorry, I'm wondering, are you able to share like the units of measurement of heart power? Like, I'm a
Mhm.
scientist, so I would kind of look into it and I would probably find ways to hack it from that perspective. Not hack,
Yeah,
but
yeah. I mean,
it's a
so
way to
just
find out if when I'm doing things to check out my metrics.
well, we want to send you a text when or
Yeah,
notification, right? But this is the raw data. These are the frequencies of each of the component frequencies, and
but power is often measured in watts. So is it a
yeah, I don't know
frequency
what
or?
I don't know what the actual, unit is for this.
Okay.
But it is a energy power spectrum. And it's funny, I
Okay.
was on the treadmill the other day and, it had power in watts, right? Purely measuring my power according to how fast I can make that treadmill go. That's an old
Right.
world concept. And we want you to realize that that's not true power. That's physical power. But true power, our new, we believe your true power is the ability to flow this divine non-physical energy power, this coherent power that puts you in the sweet spot of that feels like liquid love, empowerment, joy, um, invincibility. You can create. You're like you attract the four-leaf clover when you have this kind of power, right? Very different from just ordinary physical power and physical energy.
Susie, I have to head out, but I want to
Okay,
first congratulate you on your personal breakthrough. I think that's fabulous. And I'm very excited about Ring True. So looking forward to enjoying the pilot program for that.
thank you, Chris. Won't take much, but appreciate you being a part of this for now years. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. It's been fun. It's a wonderful journey. It's accelerated my own awakening process dramatically. I'm so grateful.
Wonderful, Chris. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Okay,
Bye now.
who would like their metrics? Who else wants to look? Can we deep dive on anyone else? Floris, I see your hand.
Last week I think 31st or so, or yeah.
Pulling it up.
I just have a quick question.
Yeah, Kel, hi.
I'm sorry I was late. When are the rings coming out? Do
I
you know?
don't know.
Okay,
But
okay,
at the early part of the call, I talked about, the game plan. I need to fundraise for
okay,
it.
sorry.
And
Okay,
as soon as we have even just a little bit, because we already have the samples in-house, and they're only $30 a piece, the hardware
oh,
cost.
sweet.
So we just need a little bit of money though to bring Mohan on board to, port the software over.
Okay.
So you guys will be the
Are you
first to
looking
hear
like
though.
are is there like can we like contribute or is there like a way we
Yeah,
can buy them or
absolutely. Yeah, we're getting ready
okay,
to raise funds to do this,
okay,
and a little bit goes a long ways at this point. And then we'll have a pre-launch on Indiegogo uh, to pre-sell the rings to the
okay,
public. Ideally, within 6 months,
okay,
maybe sooner, we'd have prototypes for you guys. You'll be the first, and all of you will be gifted a ring, a commemorative ring, you know, for just being a part of this creation for with us in the beginning, and to really help us test it out. But so give us some time. And yeah, if you or if anyone wants to invest, I have a beautiful pitch deck we're putting together, and we're planning it be a separate entity so that'll be based in the Cayman Islands. So there's great tax breaks for investors, and less than $1 million will get someone almost half the company of this new special entity called Ring True, just to focus on the ring, right? So anyway, I don't want to dilute the current
okay. Didn't mean to
investors.
distract. Okay, thank you very much. And I'm gonna
Yeah,
jump off now. So
yeah.
thank you.
Okay, bye,
I'll see you
Kel.
next month.
All right,
Bye guys.
Flores,
Thank you.
coming back to you. Let me share my screen and your metrics. This is Flores on the 31st. Wow, look at that. Oh my God, you have this huge spike here. And for anyone else on the call, like Andrea, look at this. See, this didn't happen right away for Flores, right? Flores, why don't you tell us what happened? Did you exercise and then looks like you just went up the rest of the day and this is your climax?
Yeah, I think I just had really a good day, to be honest. I mean, there's a lot of things happening and not happening yet
Yeah.
in my life, but yeah, I'm working towards it, and I just simply think that uh, that this actually was maybe a start of my weekend
Hmm.
to actually start running
Yeah, this
around
is
4 o'clock
Friday
or so.
and
Yeah,
it's
this is
super
Friday.
clear. You have like
Yeah,
exercise in the morning and then
yeah,
you just have these wonderful sharp rises with a
yeah,
continuous rise.
yeah. Yeah, and that is just because I'm really busy with a new collaboration with a lady in the Netherlands to actually yeah, entering organizations uh, and trying to get their internal organization sustainable, and that means the actual person, you know, the actual human beings.
Well, and
Yeah,
it's it
so
from
so
there's
so a
so
lot of
many.
people are doing this already with a number of things. And this lady, she is a specialist in permaculture. I met her 10 years ago while I was doing my permaculture design with Jeff Lawton in Australia. And she's also a specialist in biomimicry and this type of thing. And I'm more a human behavior specialist. So we're doing this thing together. So
Mhm,
we're trying to build up some momentum now, and this is just a Friday afternoon where part of that afternoon I worked with her until 3:30 or so,
mhm,
uh, from 1:30 onwards. And but this is a little bit what preoccupies me most of the week at the moment.
mhm.
Yeah, so it's
Well,
just new stuff, you know.
yeah, it looks like just satisfaction. You're
Yeah, well, it's
really
more than
enjoying it,
satisfaction. Yeah.
right? You're enjoying it with this gradual rise with some strong peaks that culminate into this one, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
I didn't see it yet. I didn't. I just have to look back at what I've been doing on Friday, but I didn't check it yet.
well, I'm counting 8 NF Toms. There's at least
Hmm.
8 that crossed over the 100 on an
Yeah, I'm not.
ordinary day, but a happy day, a fulfilling day.
I did. I don't know which days it were, but last week at one or twice I had over the 20 or so, 23 or 25. But
That's
I don't know which
crazy.
days it was. Yeah,
Okay, you don't remember. Oops, oops. Okay.
I know that I checked. Maybe it was the week before. I don't know. But yeah, there's a lot of things.
I'm gonna take a look. Yeah, you guys are inspiring me so much with these results. Like, okay, I want to do it, right? Come on.
I mean, I don't have all the days since the NF Tom stopped, but yeah, I've quite a few NF Toms at the moment.
Yeah. Yeah, and I
There's a number
apologize
of days
about
missing.
that, but hopefully all this will be automated. You won't have to, but look at this again. Oh, that was the middle. What'd you, well, this is interesting. Were you sleeping? How'd you do this?
It could have been that I was still awake, to be honest, because I have been going sometimes late to bed on Fridays.
Yeah, this was
But it could
last
be, yeah,
Friday. You had this really high peak. Um,
yeah,
Very interesting. Almost like you did something just before going to bed. But look during your day. Look at these. Giant rise, another one, another big one, and quite a steep. And look at these. Oh my God, look at all of these. That's a pretty abundant day, Flores. Wow.
yeah. But I feel much better. Yeah, I really feel much better too. I feel that I can hold it down, but I'm looking less into this at the moment.
Hmm.
But yeah, I'm very happy. I think I must have around 900 NF Toms by now. So
It's
I mean,
amazing.
but there's really days for I think maybe a week missing or so easily
Yeah.
since we started,
Right.
maybe
I know.
more. Yeah, but it's
Is
no, I'm very grateful. In the beginning, there were like 8 or so or 9, but I really
hmm
get quite far sometimes. I think
Yeah.
my record is I think my record was 3 weeks ago, 28 or 29 or so. I think
In
that
one
was the
day.
most.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And so it'd be really valuable, wouldn't it, if we were able to help you keep track of what you did during that day that may have.
I really need to do, and I've been really since I met this lady and we start to work. I'm really a little bit lost in that at the
Mhm.
moment.
But
So
that's good.
I'm not fully focused on, oh hey, what happened there with
hmm
me. I did that before, but at the
Yeah.
moment I was not able to look at that. So it's a pity.
It is a little bit, and I apologize because it would be really beautiful if it just did it for you, because that's actually what you're doing is ideal, is to just forget about it. And, you know, don't watch the water boil. Just let the
Yeah,
magic
yeah,
happen,
exactly.
kind of losing yourself in the joy of your improvement, but you're not seeing the NF Toms to go with it. So yeah,
Yeah,
obviously something we would want to be there for you in a commercial application where you don't lose them by not looking, because that's actually a good thing.
yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for figuring it out.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, who else can we look at? Or
You can look at mine, Susan. It's Scott
cool, Scott.
today.
Yeah, happy to look at yours. Today, so oh, you did have a spike there. What was special about today? Just anything curious?
I just had a pretty good meditation this morning. It was
Mhm.
like 9:45 to 10:45, or maybe a little bit after 10:45. This is Dr. Joe's new
You can see
energy
that here.
center meditation.
It's probably this right here. You know what really stands out that's unique when I look at yours? I don't know if you notice this when you look at others, you almost can't tell the difference between sleeping and waking. You know, you sort of wake up at a high state and a little meditation brought you even higher, but you don't have like a dramatic drop. Do you notice that?
Yeah, that's really strange. I mean, it's because I don't feel
I want to look at
like
another day.
remarkable or anything. It's like,
I'm gonna just look at the day before just to get a full day to see if there's anything different. Here we go. So yeah, you see, like this is more common, sleep, 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 wake up, drops. Looks like you slept in the day before. Meditation, come back up. But still, that's not a big drop. You see how, oh wow, look at this. You had a nice big, what'd you do in the evening? Do you remember what, 2 days yesterday? In the evening around
um,
10:30?
that what time? 10:30. I had a meditation around what time is it? Like 7:30 to 8:30.
So 7:30 is like down here. You can kind of see that, right? 6:30, 7:30. So this is it right here, guys. Just so you guys can see. Where's my annotation? Right here is your meditation, right? 7:30 to 8:30. So it's interesting, and this is if Andrea's still on the call, I've noticed this as well. Like with our meditators, there's benefit in the moment of meditation, but the real benefit comes afterwards. You see, like there's benefit in the meditation, but then you got an afterglow. So this is like running on the treadmill and then getting the lower resting heart rate an hour later. So sometimes the moment of truth is where the sweet spot is, but there's a little after effect or afterglow or delay in maybe the true benefit. And this is something we're still in the discovery phase of. Birgit, of course, I want to see Birgit. Birgit.
We can check mine on Thursday or Tuesday or both. I don't know.
Okay, so Thursday of just recently, yeah?
Yeah, like the
Right.
30th.
Pulling it up. Ta-da, boom. Wow, look at this. Huge. You have a very, very high, like, just so you know, guys, with Birgit, see this 30? This is her sleeping. If we were to look at mine, I'm like below 20. So you just have been doing whatever you're doing for so long that even while you're sleeping, you're elevated even higher. So then what I noticed about yours is, and this is similar to Chris, you have a lot more fluctuation, right? So you wake up, get not even necessarily super active, but comes way down and then shoots up. Like, look at this. This is like huge. This is really rare to get higher than sleeping, while awake. Can you tell us what you did on Thursday that may have caused that to happen? Oh my God. And look at these.
I was waking up and getting my daughter ready for school in the
That's it.
morning.
Wow. Yeah, you see, it doesn't take much for everything to come
So,
down, just moving about, getting ready for breakfast. But then what happens here around 8 o'clock?
and I think I had a really nice sleep, so I woke up kind of like peaceful and
Uh-huh.
getting up peaceful and preparing everything. Like, yeah.
Wow. You also, yeah, look, see how there's like a lot of variation. Your heart goes through, a lot of more bandwidth.
Yeah,
And
that was a very emotional day, like the rest
okay,
of the day.
well, you can kind of see it. You got like really
Yeah,
more
yeah,
fluctuation.
yeah.
But I don't know, did you count how many toms? I can't even count how many.
No, I didn't. I wasn't able to look at my metrics like for the last week, so I didn't check for the last days.
That's like 15. I count 15. I mean, I'm lucky to do that in a whole month. So, yeah, that's why we want to hear what is it that what do you think about you, Birgit, and just your life in general causes this uh, much elevation so frequently?
For me, it's like thinking I'm just taking everything, showing up, like every emotion, every situation, and just feel it through my whole body. So just whatever shows up, like joy or anger or tears of joy or like surrendering for whatever happened. So I had a very emotional phone call that day. Like also kind of asking for forgiveness, forgiving, and then afterwards just surrendering and crying and crying. So I'm letting go a lot through tears, surrendering through tears, releasing through tears.
Got it.
And so what I do is just take every emotion showing up and just let it flow through my body. And when it's gone through, just like stick to, okay, how do I want to continue? And
Right.
yeah, so
It's really clear that the power of, as you said, surrender, accept,
mhm.
surrender, diffuse, cry, relief, let it go, and you then get the relief. You're not
Yeah,
holding on, you're not fighting it, not trying to
no.
change it, just lovingly accept and cry.
So whatever energy is in my body, I'm instantly feeling when there's something like not in peace within.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I kind of changed myself in terms of not holding it for myself anymore, and then just to like sometimes take all of my courage and speak to that person,
Mm-hmm.
or surrender myself and then speak up or something.
Mm-hmm. Wow, this is great. This is such a beautiful example of ringing true, right? It's less about the physics and more about the feelings and your perceptions. Just really, um, as you said, you changing yourself, but what I really see and hear is you're changing your perception and you're literally diffusing the resistance and lowering your resistance and increasing your allowance and your acceptance. And it doesn't mean you're always happy, but
No.
but I've seen that part of you too. And either way, you can get metrics
Yeah,
like this, you know,
yeah,
either.
and I I also met with a friend like the same day. That was in the evening, and that was so. I just had this love energy feeling within my whole body, and it was just so nice. So we were sitting outside drinking something. The kids were just playing around and laughing, and everything was just so full of love and joy and just so peaceful. And yeah, so that was also the same day. Yeah.
Same day. Let's look at that. Let's look at that. And then I want to look at Tuesday. So in the evening, you can see kind of your gentle but steep rise with your play and laughing,
Mm.
right? And a lot of these metrics, a lot of these NF toms were minted during that experience.
Yeah. And then I went for a walk
Yeah, you can see
to
that
the
right here.
beach like around 10 or so.
Yeah, there's your walk
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
a rise. You can also see in your walk, you really, it was a fast walk. You
Mm.
really got your heart rate going. Um,
Yeah.
Wonderful. So many. I'm going to look at Tuesday with as well. You mentioned that was another insightful day. I just want to show a
Yeah, that
comparison.
was exciting.
So this was a different kind of energy, right? Different kind of more joyful.
Yeah, it was it was also exciting, but it was
Oh my
different.
God.
Yeah.
Oh, totally. Look at that. Wow. Look at that. Incredible. Look how many spikes you have. So many, and these are probably more joy spikes. You can either get it by joy
Yeah.
or by
Yeah,
letting
it is.
go. Whoa, look at
Yeah.
this one. This is huge. It's like a double. Right? Look at that. You
This
see it?
was more like excitement and joy like that day. And yeah.
I am just blown away. Guys, look at this. Look at your NF Toms at the bottom. It's just, look at this, you guys. I just, so obviously, feeling more joy will probably mint more, but what I really appreciate with your sharing is you can also have almost the same results by actively diffusing and letting go of false beliefs, pain,
Yeah,
disappointment.
whatever feeling shows up,
Yeah.
like, yeah.
Just letting your
Mm-hmm.
feelings, accepting them, loving them, embracing yourself, and
Yeah, yeah,
letting them go. And
yeah.
I mean, of course, these feel better, but you don't always have to be happy to mint NF Toms.
No.
But this is, of course,
Mm,
a really beautiful vision you've shared with us here.
mm.
Just
Yeah, so
amazing.
that day I had a nice meeting with my hairdresser lady in the morning or like around lunchtime.
Around
And then
here.
I met, that was 12:30.
Okay.
And yeah,
And so you had a
and then
good
I met with, there was kind of a spontaneous meeting with a nice person, like, and then we went for lunch,
yeah, goes down.
having a nice conversation, and yeah, and then we stayed for, I don't know, I think 2 hours or 1.5 hour,
Yeah.
and then I got some nice food from a new restaurant for my daughter, and then I went back home with my bike, and then I had a like nice chat conversation in the afternoon, evening. So yeah.
Yeah. And then something really nice around 8 o'clock, 8 to 9. Your best. It's like
Yeah, I need to check my my messages maybe, but yeah. So,
amazing.
yeah.
Absolutely beautiful, Birgit. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm always expecting to see your results when you're just joyful. It was really illuminating to see how successful you are with the not so pleasant emotions, you know,
Yeah.
and that's more natural. That's more authentic. Is to
Yeah.
and that tells me why you're really so successful, because you're not faking it. You're not just
No.
focusing on the good feelings. You're figured out how to let go of those that don't feel so good.
I don't even focus on minting anything. I'm just like letting go. So
Yeah, you're like
then I
florists.
check and then I see, okay.
Yeah, yeah, it's like florists. I
So
know, and I appreciate you guys taking this extra step to check, because obviously we would want it to do it for you. We don't want you to have to do that administrative step. But for now,
yeah.
we appreciate you doing it, and I'm just really excited. I'm so inspired by the different ways in which each of you are aspiring to your power, really figuring it out. And you're also different. So it's a wonderful mix of validation for us and the technology that, and that's one of the things in my pitch that I'm working on is, we have a much broader market appeal. We're not just for athletes, we're not just for flow state experts. We're for anyone who wants to aspire to their true self, their true ideal better self. Old, young, you don't have to be in the sweet spot of your physical prime. So thank you, Birgit, for you and Chris. You guys are part of the slightly older generation that you don't see being used as models in other wearables, right? All right, Itzel, can we look at you as the last one, and then
Well, not really. I'll be honest. I've had
okay.
a couple of two lousy weeks. I've been a little ill, fever, this, I wore it, I didn't. So No,
Okay.
this really helped me refresh my memory, because in the sense of like what each graphic, what am I looking at again? Sometimes I just don't want to go there, and I don't go there just to see if I minted,
Yeah.
but I want to get into what is telling me. So today helped me a lot in recapping, for
Great.
example, my heart rate, what is a good resting heart rate. And I remember in one phone call, you or Mohan said that you were very looking into the SDNN metric,
Yeah.
and we didn't really mention it. So what did that one? What does that one tell us? The
Yeah.
SD.
So this is SDNN right here. It's the higher darker green metric.
And it stands for standard
Standard
deviation.
deviation. It won't make sense what the NN stands for. That's someone's name who discovered it. But it's the standard deviation between the peaks. So your heart rate has peaks, right? You know, you can't see it right now, but if you were to look at your heart rate, you know, it'd be like that. And then they're measuring the time between those peaks. And it's always varying. It's not like, you know, you don't want to be like a clock where it's right exactly. You want the variation. The higher the variation, the higher your harmonic resonance is. There's a higher order frequency of resonance, and you can't see it. But when we are able to measure higher and higher sampling rates, this is the beginning of discovering what those harmonics are. These are your harmonics, and there are higher and higher ones that we can't see yet. And so we're currently only looking in the time domain, which is the variation between those peaks, because that's all we got. You know, we only have a few frequencies given the sampling rate. But when we have our own ring, we'll have a much higher sampling rate. We'll be able to use this data a lot more. We're not using it currently to mint NF toms. We're only using your ability to rise above 100 nanoseconds between your beats. Very, very rudimentary concept of heart coherence. Not even the full truth, but it's where the current, you know, the standard is today in measuring HRV. When you hear the term HRV, heart rate variability, this is what they're looking at. Is SD, is the time between peaks. So we're starting where the rest of the world is focused. And we are, with you, with all of you, are going to come up with new metrics of truth, new metrics of resonance, coherency. That includes these patterns as well, and maybe a combination of the two, right? So there's so much coming in the future. But right now it's just that one metric, and it's pretty rudimentary. It's not even my favorite, but we decided to, if we had to pick one standard, let's just go with the metric the rest of the world uses, and then we can grow from there.
Got it. Perfect. Yeah. So that helps me, for example, in remembering, you know, you don't want your heart rate to be to like in that. So it's better to be, you know, in a variability. So yeah, just I'm going to be focusing more into learning more how to read the heart rate.
Yeah. Just look for those. Look for those peaks in the SDNN, the green, but also the heart power. You know, if you see all of them or even one of those rising dramatically, that's a great indicator for you. And you currently cannot see that with any other wearable. They don't give you that frequency spectrum.
Exactly.
So that's just,
Thank you, everybody, for sharing.
Thank you, all of you. Appreciate all the shares. What a great call. really insightful for me. I learn every day from looking at your metrics. So yeah, have a great day or evening wherever you are in the world, and we'll let you
You
know when we have a
too.
new pitch deck ready, okay? Okay.